Hey everybody, welcome to another video about Go. And this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com. And today we're going to talk about switch statements. Switch is another conditional statement. So essentially you can do for loops and you can do switches. So let's clear everything out in the main function to make life a little easier. Okay, so the way a switch works is instead of writing a bunch of if statements or if else statements, you can just say, hey, I'm going to check this variable. So let's say let, oh no, not let, this is not JavaScript. Let's do x equals 5. Okay, and then we're going to check that switch x. Okay, and then after that, we're going to write a bunch of cases, all within some curly brackets. And it'll check if each case is true, and run one if one is true. So we'll do case 1. Case 1, which means if x is 1, print fmt uppercase print 1. Okay, and I'm just going to copy and paste this. So 2, it'll print 2. If it's a 3, it'll print 3. And if it's a 4, it'll print 4. This is a good way to do sort of menus. So like when I've done like little like space battle games and you're trying to choose what to do, you know, I'll assign each command a number or each command a letter, and then basically then the switch will decide which of those commands will do. And I'll create a function for what happens. So basically each case will just call the right function just to make the code look cleaner. Okay, so that should do it. Let's run it, make sure it all works fine. Yep, and see, since it's 5, it runs 5. So if I were to change this to 3, it should run 3. 3, see? Neat. Now, you don't have to have this expression. So this x here that says, hey, we're going to check against x, we don't have to do that. We can get rid of that. Okay, and instead what it's going to do is that now it's going to check an expression for each of these. So I have to create sort of an expression. So it's x greater than 1 is x greater than 2, x greater than 3 is x greater than 4, x greater than 5. Cool. Okay, so let me run that. Let's see what the result is. Okay, and see, notice it only prints 1. So even though case number 2 technically is also true, it's only going to use the very first case that it comes up with. Okay, so what if I did want it to go check the case number 2 too? What I would do is at the very end of case number 1, I'd add the keyword fall through, which means check the next one. So if I added fall through at the end of all of these, it'll keep checking the next case in case multiple of them are true, and it wants me to run multiples of them. This is only useful if I'm doing this kind of switch. Because if I'm doing the switch with the expression where I just put x, then only one can be true. Like it'll show you, it'll give you a compiler error if you try to do two things that evaluate as true. Okay, I'm not gonna put fall through in the last one because there is no case after it. Okay. So I run, so 3 is greater than 1 and it's greater than 2, not greater than 3, so it should be 1 and 2. If this works the way we think it's gonna work. Oh, but it printed 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Interesting. So what it did was automatically run the next item. What we learned is that fall through actually essentially adds the next case to your thing. So for example, let me take fall through out here, if I do that, it should just end at 4. Okay, so basically what it does is fall through. What happens is that when it runs into this line, it literally goes to the next case and just runs it. Okay, for in case there's some sort of case, it's just some situation where you may want that to happen. Okay, where you want multiple things to happen, and you want it to be literally the next one. Otherwise, the switch statement will always only run one case. Only one case will be evaluated as true. Once it finds one case that matches, it stops. Okay, at best you can do the fall through, so that way it runs the following case too. But like I did there, I chained a bunch of fall throughs and I ended up running all the cases. Okay, so one interesting thing there is essentially if it was 5, it would have only ran 5 because it would have never hit those other fall through statements. So there could be some interesting uses for that. But that's literally all there is to a switch statement. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and find switch statements useful for when you need to check for a lot of things. But otherwise, I will see you guys later on.